Salut mon pote, comment ça va? Welcome to this A2 French course, which is extremely important and significant for your French journey. We will see very soon exactly why, but because it is so important, I wanted to record this presentation of the course because you should really know exactly where you are going with this and what you should expect from the course itself. The first and most important thing that you should know and that you should make really clear in your mind is that this is not an easy course, and this is not a course for people, for students who want something easy. This is a course for people who want something serious, something complete, and something efficient. So what do I mean by serious? I mean that the course is long, it's made of 12 units, these are long videos inside, everything is 100% in French. In this presentation video, I speak English because I want to keep it as generic as possible for everyone, but the course is completely in French, there is no English inside. There are a lot of homeworks, and the course works only if you are willing to do the work yourself. What I mean by this is that you will not learn French just by watching videos. I know that this is sometimes a bit mind-blowing for some students, but this should be clear also in your mind. You cannot learn French or any languages just by watching videos. So this course will require a lot of work, a lot of things to do by yourself, okay? And this is why I say that this is a complete course. Because if you take, for example, a chapter like this, which is the first chapter in which you are introduced to a famous French artist, in addition to watching the video of the chapter itself, you have, for example, a movie, you have a link to download a movie which is related to the chapter. Then you have homeworks. Inside the homeworks, you have a reminder to do your planning to practice speaking. Then also you have a link to external exercise giving you more information about the social context of France. And then you have like ideas of what to do with your speaking partner. Then you have a written exercise, like a writing exercise that you can post directly on the platform. And if you are actually willing to do all of this effort, if you are willing to be really serious about the course, then it works. We have seen extremely super great, extremely wonderful progress on the website. This is an example of a student. The point is not that it's longer here. It's not about the quantity of the writing. It's really about the quality. You can pause the video and check it yourself if you wish, but this is the kind of amazing progress that we see on the platform from students who are super serious and disciplined in the course. And this is why I say that the course is efficient, because if you are willing to do it seriously, it works, it is efficient. We see progress from students, amazing progress, and we also receive this kind of messages. This one is just like one example of a student who actually took and passed his TCF exam and who's planning to go to Canada. He managed to get the CLB 7 level. So like this is the kind of progress that you can expect if you are willing to do it seriously. So this being said, the objective of the course are to get you ready for the more advanced B1, B2 level. What I mean by this is that because of the way the academics and the exams are set up, a lot of students tend to see languages as like isolated categories of levels, like this is A1, then A2, then B1, when actually in real life, it looks really more like this. It's more like a continuum, like a spectrum of progression from super beginner to like very advanced and like super fluent speaker. The thing is that this is really not realistic at all, but this is super convenient for study and for exams. This is really realistic, but it's not very convenient and not very actionable in real life. So the way I like to see things is actually like this. This one is more like a compromise between the two ways to visualize levels. And I think here you can really see why the A2 level is so important, because A2 is really the transition between being a beginner in French to actually being an advanced speaker, like a person who can really speak and who are really able to get their way in French and do everything. Okay, so A2 is so important because this is the transition between beginner and intermediate advanced level. The other point of the course is to help you understand French culture and context, like socio-cultural context better, which actually helps you also learn the language faster, obviously. So this is why inside the course you have a lot of like French movies, a lot of external resources to watch with like interviews of people, a lot of French music, a lot of exercises about the news in France, etc., etc. And also the point is to give you the confidence to move forward towards like more advanced level, because a lot of students don't plan to stop at A2 level, but actually plan to go all the way to like B1, B2, etc., right? So now that we've seen the objectives, quick layout of the course, what you will find inside. The course is 12 units long, and each unit is organized in exactly the same way. So inside each unit, you will have 6 chapters, and inside each chapter, you have one listening or video exercise and one reading exercise. Then you always have some kind of focus on grammar or vocabulary, and then you have the homeworks. Inside the homeworks, you always have like one external resource to watch or to listen to, some cultural exercise, which is very good for initiating preparation for the TCF exam kind of document, some writing exercise, and a suggestion of speaking exercise that you can do with your speaking partner. Then in each unit, you also have one movie, like a link to watch a French movie with subtitles, vocabulary video reviewing everything, and any other kind of resources as well. Every unit has one big theme. For example, there's a unit about housing, a unit about the media, about health, about family, etc. So along the 12 units, it really makes it possible to review a lot of different topics, a lot of different vocabulary, obviously. Okay? So how to use exactly the course, meaning because you have like 12 units, it's really long, right? How to navigate between this. So how to use this? I put here 5 steps. So the core of the course is to watch a video. The course is made of videos, and inside the videos, you have exercises to do. For example, in this chapter, here you have like a reading exercise where you actually have to pause the video, read the text, and then answer the questions. So that's important because even though the video of the course is like 47 minutes long, you will need more time than this to do the chapter, because you have to pause the video sometimes to do exercises. You don't need any external document to follow the video, but you do need like a notebook and a pen to answer the questions. So here it's a reading exercise, for example. Here it's a listening exercise, so there is nothing to watch here, but you have to listen to the document, eventually go back in the video, listen to it one more time, and answer the questions. You also have more traditional like vocabulary and grammar exercises, where here, for example, you have to pause the video and copy sentences on your notebook and filling them with vocabulary. Okay? And then after completing the main chapter video, you have homeworks file. So how does it look like? Like this. So this is the course, right? Here you have the main video. And as you can see below the video, you have this homework PDF file. So when you open it, you have different exercises. Here, for example, the first exercise, you have to watch a video. You just click the YouTube link, go watch the video. Exercise 2 is RFI exercise, which is very interesting. These are exercises from Radio France Internationale. By the way, TEF exam has an exercise from this website. And these are more interactive kind of exercises, always on a specific socio-cultural topic. Here, for example, is Notre Dame. It's always a listening exercise.
Riverain de Notre-Dame, Richard estime.
Some questions to answer. You have the vocabulary below, the transcription. So these are like really interesting kind of exercises. Okay. No. going back here. And then you have like conjugation exercise, some grammar exercises like this. Okay, so you do them by yourself on your notebook after watching the video. Here you can see this is a listening exercise. You're supposed to listen to the audio file that you can find here as well.
1. Nous devons prendre la voiture pendant 3 heures.
Okay, and finally at the end of each homework file you have so like a suggestion of a topic you can talk about with your speaking partner and a writing exercise. So this kind of writing exercises you can do them and post them directly on the platform, just like this, production écrite. You type them like this and then we correct them for you. And this is where we see the most progress in students. Okay? So you have to do the homeworks, do the writing, do the speaking. Très bien. Again, the reason I insist so much on homeworks is because, again, you will not learn just by watching the videos. Like we really put a lot of effort to make all the homeworks and everything, and we see progress from the students who are doing this seriously. What planning should you do to navigate between these 12 units? So the time it takes to complete a chapter and the unit is so different from a student to another that I will just give you one generic tip that is the best I can give you to make your own planning. The tip is that, as I told you, every unit is organized in the same way. So what you should do is you just do the first unit. You see how much time it takes you. Maybe it's 1 week, maybe it's 2 weeks, maybe it's a month, I don't know. You just see how much time you need to be satisfied about completing everything in unit 1, and then you can expect every other unit to take roughly the same amount of time because every unit is organized in the same way and every chapter, like every main video, is roughly the same amount of time, usually between 40 minutes and 1 hour, always, okay? Final words, maybe the most important thing is that I just gave you a lot of information here, but don't worry, take it one step at a time. Just start by the first chapter, then do the homeworks, then chapter 2, etc. And in any case, if you have any question, you just send me a private message on the platform, or you can also just put a question directly on the platform and we will do our best to help you. Okay? This goes without saying, but we wish you all the best for your studies. Send us a message if you have any question. Bon courage, mon pote. Ciao.